not gonna lie, I'm pretty fucking wasted right now off this one beer. Here's a video that actually none of you asked for ever, but the other day I was watching Kelsey Capel, and if you don't know who she is, she's literally so funny. She's Cody Ko's girlfriend, but I don't want to call her Cody Ko's girlfriend, you know, because she's like her own person or whatever. But she made this really brilliant video the other day where she asked her like followers like questions about boy trouble, and then she sat in her PJs and made it like a slumber party, because you know when you're at slumber parties, you and your girls or guys just talk about your heartbreak and everything. And I thought, wow, that is freaking genius. And then I thought about mukbangs for some reason, and I thought, wait, why don't I make a video about just like how to deal with heartbreak and all of that? But when you talk about dealing with heartbreak, you know, with your friends, what do? You crack a couple of cold ones with the boys. First off, I'm not a beer drinker. I hate beer. This was just sitting in my closet for months, so I decided to open it up. And you're gonna ask, what beer is this? Well, since you know, like mukbangs, they like go over what they're eating or whatever, we're gonna talk about what we're drinking really quick before we get into the video, because I feel like that's important. So this is a Track 7 Nuck and Futs Imperial Peanut Butter Chocolate Cream Porter, and it's a Sacramento beer, so it's local. And honestly, this is pretty good. I'm not really into beers. I don't really care about the taste, but this, dead ass, you can actually taste the peanut butter. And I've tried those beers where it's like, oh, you got a hint of raspberry or like anything like that, and none of it tastes like anything at all, just tastes like piss. This, I could actually taste the peanut butter. It's actually really good. So that's what we're gonna be drinking at the sleepover today. And before we get into the video, we're gonna need to get some headbands. So put your headbands on, guys, or you know, gals and guys. And we're gonna do a face mask while we drink our beer, talk about heartbreak, and do face masks, because why not? So the face mask that we're gonna do is the A-Rad Natural Beauty Facial Mud Mask with original Dead Sea Mud. And this face mask is so good. I got this at TJ Maxx. I know they have their own website. And we're just gonna put it on our face, let it, you know, sit while we talk about boys. So I guess we'll get started. So the whole reason for this video is just because I just love talking about love and heartbreak. And if you guys don't know, I was recently just got out of a relationship. It was like a almost 2 year relationship. The only real relationship I have ever been in. I am 21. I've talked to guys for like long periods of times. Like I've talked to guys for like 3 years, but it's never been anything official to where it's like, oh, we're dating, like, you know, you're mine, like nothing, you know, I guess Facebook official or however you want to say it. And yeah, pretty much it was my first real relationship, and my first kind of, I want to say healthy too, because I have always have this thing where every time I talk to a guy, it is always a cheater. Yikes, my sister just came home, so that's why there's this really long pause. So if I'm talking really quietly, it's gonna be like a little bit more of an ASMR vibe, because her room is right next to mine and I don't want to be yelling because this girl works at like 5 o'clock in the morning. But what was I saying about my relationship? So I have never been in like a real actual healthy relationship. Like literally any guy that I talked to either was like a cheater, a liar, just any of those. Like I just pick the freaking winners. And I finally found like a good guy. Honestly, nothing was really bad in the relationship. I mean, every relationship has its like ups and downs in the beginnings. Like we didn't agree on a lot of stuff, but like this video isn't about my breakup, by the way. I just want to quickly say that this is just me more talking about like your self-worth, I guess. And get crazy, get wild. This is gonna sound really messed up, but I feel like after like not even a year into the relationship, I realized that this is not the relationship that I want to be in, but I stayed in the relationship. And that's what I see a lot of people doing, is they will literally just stay in relationships just because they're comfortable. Like I feel like a lot of people think just because everything is going right, like you could be like financially stable, you could even be living together, you may never fight, you could, I don't know, agree on a lot of things. What else? Just like your basic healthy relationship where you know, you're like normal, like it's average, but there is no spark there. And I can honestly say that I never really felt a spark in my relationship that I just got out of, and I stayed in that relationship for the longest time, and literally my self-worth like plummeted downhill. I was like at an all-time high before I got in that relationship, and then I plummeted down, and I literally lost interest in like a lot of the things. I feel like my videos weren't that good. I just truly was kind of unhappy with myself, and I didn't really know why. And it was because I was in a relationship that I did not want to be in. Now I want to say, like, it's not like I was in an unhealthy relationship. Yeah, we fought a lot, but I mean, what couple doesn't? I think that the most important thing is the spark, and to truly be happy and connect. And you don't really realize it until you actually find someone and you think, holy shit, like I didn't even feel this in like a 2-year relationship. And that is literally so crazy to me. Like, I am such a firm believer in working things out in your relationship. Like, I don't know, I've just like always surrounded by love. Like, my parents are still together. Literally all of my best friends are like fucking married. My best friend has been with her boyfriend for like 9 years. So I've never really seen, not like necessarily seen bad relationships. I've always been kind of surrounded by bad relationships, like as in like friends and heartbreak for like in high school. But like once, now that we're getting older, almost all of my friends, like I swear to God, they're gonna marry the people that they're with except me. And I sit there, and I think I realized it when I saw like my friends be so in love with the person that they're with, and I'm just like, I don't get that. Like, it just didn't make sense. Like, you think you're in love, but you don't realize what love truly is. And I feel like that happens so much when you're young. Also, I just want to quickly say, I feel like this video is all over the place right now, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. Again, it's the alcohol talking. Maybe I should be like drinking more right now. Get crazy, get wild. I feel like my whole point in making this video is just realizing what is love and what is being comfortable, because I was so comfortable in the relationship that I was in. Like, literally we were together every night, could have moved in together, like any of that, and I would have been content. Like, I would have been content with living together, I don't know, freaking having kids. But then would I have really been? Because I wasn't doing all the things that I loved that I now do. I feel like if you get in a relationship and you stop doing the things that you love, you're probably not in the right relationship. And maybe I'm wrong, but I just know that if there's no balance between doing what you love and being in a relationship, then why are you in that relationship? Like, you should never feel like you have to stop doing what you love to hang out with like your boyfriend, or like put more time in. Like, there should always be like an equal value. I was listening to this podcast one time, I think it was like The Girl Boss, and I think it was Miranda Kerr. It was the podcast with Miranda Kerr, and they were talking about like how they keep like how she has such a strong relationship. And she was just saying that, like, at the end of the day, like, even though they're so busy, it's because they have their own thing, and at the end of the day they come and they meet, and then, you know, that's when they hang out. I think it's, I mean, this sounds so messed up, but I think it's so weird when I see couples always doing things together. And I'm not like meaning that to like hate in any way. I just truly, I get it, it's like your partner, it's your best friend, but to not have that one thing that's yours, and then like kind of like an escape. And I feel like that's why a lot of people like really truly lose themselves once they get out of the relationship, and they always try to like come back and be like that obsessive type of, I feel like, girlfriend. And like, don't get me wrong, like back in the day when I used to, the relationship that I was heavy in, and I got cheated on so many times, and I was so naive, and I just never realized it. And I was so upset after the breakup, and I was thinking like, why? And I was like so convinced. I mean, this is like a whole other video, I feel like talking about cheaters and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm gonna start getting into more of like the breakup aspect of how to truly get over a breakup, is to realize the reality. if that makes sense. Like, to truly snap out of it. And I know it's hard to hear, like, snap out of it. Like, obviously you want to do all the normal breakup stuff, like talk things out with your friends, like watch a sad movie, eat ice cream, like do all of that, like your normal breakup things, like cry, scream, shout, break things. Like, I mean, maybe not break things, but all those like normal things, like kind of like it's not the not grieving, that's death, like the coping stage, like the very first stage of a breakup where you literally cry, you get it all out. I mean, everybody's period is long. I mean, it could take a month. You could cry yourself to sleep for literally like 6 months straight. But I think the most important thing to realize in that whole stage is the reality of it. So if it was, say, a mutual breakup, or say the person broke up with you and you're like, I really don't get it, you have to really think about it. Do you really want to be in a relationship and have kids with someone, or create an entire life with someone that doesn't want a life with you? And I'm talking like every time you want to like even send the text. 9 times out of 10, if they're not talking to you or like trying to reach out, and you're the one that's always like double texting and like always showing up, then that is not the person for you. Like, do you realize that if that's the way it goes in the relationship in the beginning, that's most likely how it's going to pan out the entire relationship? You're going to get in a fight, you're going to scream and argue, and then you are always going to be the one that comes back and says like, I'm sorry, like blah blah blah, and you're going to be like really kind of, I don't want to say obsessive. Again, I don't mean this in any bad way, because I have been this person when I was like 18 and was like in the worst relationship of my life. But you just really have to put yourself in that state of, do you really want to be with someone? Always wondering if they're cheating, if they're getting in a fight, or not getting in a fight, like walking kind of like on eggshells, like tripping over what you want to say, and every little thing that you do say like starts an argument. Or I'm like losing my train of thought. I feel like I need a drink right now. Again, I'm sorry that this is literally all over the place, but the point I'm trying to make in that long ass ramble is that if a person wants to be with you, they will literally be with you. Trust me. And it's just like from all the healthy relationships that I have seen, you never want to be that person that is always reaching out. That is literally, if in the beginning of the relationship, if you're always the one apologizing, that's a red flag right there. If you can talk it out and it's still happening, then that's like, you need to go. Like, that is not the person for you, because again, if a person really wants to be with you, there will always be a mutual understanding. You won't argue about stupid things. And I don't even get me started on the relationships where like you are controlling and are always even looking at someone's phone, or I don't know, like telling someone what to wear, just like stupid high school stuff. I can't even imagine being in a relationship with someone like that. But if you are with someone that is constantly telling you what to do, not letting you go out, not letting you get drunk with your friends, then that is a major trust issue, and that is something that you need to talk through with your partner. And if they don't have that trust issue, if they don't have that trust with you, then you need to get out of that relationship. And I have seen that type of stuff happen where a guy will like tell you what to wear, blah blah blah, and then I've had friends that has happened, and then they broke up and then they got back together and that was no longer an issue. But that was because there was like years in between of them being broken up, and that person that was really controlling and telling them what to wear grew up and like started to love themselves. And you can't be with someone that doesn't love themselves. Like, you have to love yourself before you can love someone else. My camera is dying right now, so I only have like a very short amount of little things to say. So if you do want me to actually like cover a topic like cheating, or like how to actually get over a breakup or something like that, like I could definitely do one of these and then like grab another beer or something. But yeah, the whole thing that I'm trying to say is that life is literally too short to be in a relationship where you are unhappy. Like, if you think that if you get out of the breakup, if you get out of the relationship that you are in right now and you will literally feel lost, like you won't know what to do, then maybe you need to step back and break up. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you are in the wrong relationship, but I just think it's really unfair to be in a relationship with someone when you don't love yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself first and you get in a relationship, that's when all the trust issues come out, that's when all the controlling stuff happens, that's when, like, say your partner goes out to hang out with his friends and you freak out and you're like, are you serious? Like, I want to hang out with you. And like, you guys get what I'm saying, like those type of things where you will like get mad if they don't tell you where you are, or just certain things like that where you're like, oh, you're getting drunk with their friends, like, are you serious? Like, grow up. Or there's like different things with that, but you know what I'm saying. Like, if you do not love yourself first, it is so incredibly selfish to be in a relationship with someone else. And it's like vice versa. If you are in a relationship with someone and you see all those things where they're controlling, then you need to get out. Like that, it's like how I was saying, like, life is literally too short. I was stuck in a relationship for 2 years where I was so incredibly unhappy, and it was because I was in the wrong relationship. And I was super comfortable. Like, there was nothing really going on to where I should have been. Like, no one was cheating, like nothing crazy happened. Like, literally one day I woke up and I thought, why the fuck am I in this relationship? I am literally so unhappy. And it wasn't until like you finally meet someone and you really like get that connection and you think, what the fuck? Like, it's until you really experience love or you truly connect with someone on a whole other level, I feel like it's really hard to understand why certain relationships don't work out and why it's really important. Like, it's okay to date and like date around, but I see so many people go from relationship to relationship to relationship and they don't have time to work on themselves, and it just like it's kind of sucks. Like, I have always been that person where when I get in a relationship, like, I probably will not be in a relationship for a really long time until I meet someone and I'm like, that is the person I'm gonna marry. Like, that's just the way that I've always thought of, and I think that's why I've never really been in a real mature relationship. And I think that's what I was trying to say in the beginning. Like, I've been in relationships like in high school and stuff, but never like mature ass relationships until the one I just got out of. And yeah, the point I'm trying to make, guys, is if you are unhappy in your relationship, it is, I know it's so incredibly hard, and again, I can make a whole separate video of like moving on, but you need to get out of that relationship, because the like weight that's lifted off your shoulders once you finally get out is like amazing. Okay, I'm like so wasted right now, like, why am I using these words? But it just like, I don't know, I see so many of my friends like so in love, and then I was in this relationship and I just like, I didn't get it. And then, you know, it's not until you meet someone and you're like, oh my god, like, I understand now. So that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm gonna wrap this up because it's been rambling for way too long, and just let me know if you guys like these type of videos, just like me rambling, kind of live chats. I used to do these type of videos all the time. They got deleted. We all know what happened with that. So yeah, please like, subscribe, do all of that if you like these type of videos, and I will see you guys in my next video. Let's just do one more for the boys.